Saints fans have questions. Me and my guy, Loco Lopez, have answers. Welcome into this edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. We are going to be answering questions in our live mailbag, our live Q&A. That's a part of our weekly Wednesday live show, 4 p.m. Central Time. So join us if you haven't before. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of great conversations, and you also get to take an inside look at our Saints content before it gets posted on the channel. Really quickly, though, if you haven't already, hit your boy up on social media. I'm almost at 2,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm almost at 5,000 on Twitter. So hit me up on all three of these platforms if you want Saints content. I post every single day. Doesn't matter if I'm out of town. You also get to see what I got going on in my daily life. Me, my beautiful girlfriend, Maddie, my awesome dog, Dude, my family, and, of course, everything in between. So hit your boy up on social media. Feel free to send me a DM. I love chopping it up around the Saints. Simply Archive, first question. Should the Saints sign Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper? Yeah, I'm down. I would love if the New Orleans Saints went to sign one of these two players. They have been linked to Amari Cooper in the past. I'm not going to sit here and say this is like they've had a visit, but other blogs out there have also said this would be a good idea. I've talked about it on the show. This would be a good idea. I think for one of these two players specifically, it fills a need of a big-bodied possession receiver that could be beneficial as a veteran in a young wide receiver room. Lopez, what do you think on this?
I think adding a veteran receiver like a Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper is something that the Saints very much benefit from. I know some of the talks recently have been, let's trade Chris Olave.
Sure.
What's that solving? It's kind of like a Steelers situation. We only had one receiver in George Pickens. Yep. We trade for DK Metcalf. We trade George Pickens. Yeah. It's like you're not moving anywhere.
Yeah, you're going left and right. You're not going forward or back.
But going back to this, I think a number 2 receiver, they need one.
Yep.
Especially, they are going to be a younger team. Chris Olave is still a young receiver at this point. He can learn from somebody like a Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And the other thing to talk about, too, is if you sign them, it's not like you need these guys to be 1,000-yard players. Sign them, they get you 700, 800 yards. That's a great year.
Yeah.
It's a really great year for these players. So, I will say also this, with Keenan Allen, he does have familiarity with Kellen Moore. One of the best seasons in Keenan Allen's career came whenever Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator of the Chargers. So there is ties there, and there's familiarity with the offensive scheme. So maybe that one makes sense. I could see the Saints going and bringing in Keenan Allen, but I would 100% bring in one of these two players. I'm all in for it. If you agree with me, like the video or type in the comment section, share your thoughts. All right, which one of these is you? Which one of these are you? Which number are you? Are you number 1 or are you number 10? Well, number 1 through 5 or 6 have all been caught. So I know this guy isn't the one that was on Instagram Live, and I know this one that wasn't asleep on a bench in the French Quarter. So you're still out there on the run. That is really funny. Who do you think starts more games this season? Tyler Shough or Spencer Rattler? I think Tyler Shough will start more games. If the question was who will be the starting quarterback week 1, my answer would be I don't know. But I think for this one, who will start more games next season, it's going to be Tyler Shough. Kellen Moore handpicks that quarterback. This doesn't mean that Spencer Rattler is on the outside looking in. I just think for Rattler specifically, he is fighting an uphill battle, and ultimately his leash will be short. So whether it's a leash on the front end of the season in the first few games, a leash in the midway part of the season, or at the end of the season, it will be a short leash nonetheless, also depending on how Tyler Shough pans out. Lopez, I'm curious what you think on this one.
First of all, shout out to Ethan in the live chat. He said, I got money on Derek. I think a couple of us in the office actually have money on Derek.
We have a pool on this.
Derek might be the number 1 guy.
We have 100% an office pool, and I definitely think we're going to win it, Lopez.
Now, I do kind of agree with you. Shough is going to be the guy that will get the majority of the snaps for the Saints. But I don't think it's crazy to say that Spencer Rattler can see himself in 6, 7, 8 games.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
For sure. I think it's totally fair to say first 5, 6 weeks, it's Rattler. And then after that, it's Tyler Shough. Or maybe it's a few weeks of Rattler, and then it's Shough, and then we go back to Rattler at the end of the season. Those very well could happen. I think, though, my answer for this is Tyler Shough will start more games. So I want to ask you the question, and Lopez and I want to get your thoughts. What do you think? Who has the most starts in 2025? TS SR or other. If you think it's going to be Jake Haener, Hunter Deckers, or maybe a wild card like Jameis Winston, Aaron Rodgers, something like that. Carson Wentz, Tyler Huntley. Let me know in the comment section or down below. Alrighty, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling. More questions, more hot takes here from the Golden Gang live on Saints Now by Chat Sports. Baby O, thoughts on people clowning us for drafting Tyler over Shedeur? Well, the same team in the same fan bases that are clowning us for passing on Shedeur also passed on Shedeur 5 times. We're no different than any other team. We're no different than any other team that took a quarterback instead of Shedeur Sanders. Jalen Milroe, whatever. I also don't think he's that great of a thrower of the football. I mean, for the love of God, the Browns took Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds before they took Shedeur. So, to my response and my thoughts on people clowning us, I get it. Shedeur's the bigger name, whatever. My response is just tell me you don't know ball. Tell me you haven't actually been paying attention to what's been going on. There's a reason he fell. There's no background. There's no hidden reason. There's no collusion going on. There's a good reason why Shedeur Sanders was not drafted early. The league views him not as a starter. That doesn't mean he won't be, but as of now, coming out of the draft process and during the draft process, Shedeur was not very highly viewed. So that's just how it is. I don't think people, I think the people clowning us are just idiots, and I get it. Tyler Shough isn't nearly as illustrious of a player as Shedeur, but look, any team that wants to make fun of the Saints for drafting a quarterback instead of Shedeur can also laugh at themselves for drafting another player over Shedeur or drafting a quarterback themselves over Shedeur. So, no, I think it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Sid Different, do you think the Saints should consider trading Kendre Miller? I mean, not right now. My answer is not right now. Maybe in the future. Let's go through the training camp process. Let's go through OTAs. Let's get through the preseason, and let's see what happens. Because for me, I wouldn't just outright cut Kendre Miller. I don't think it makes sense. But the question that I have for Lopez is, what do you think the market would be? Considering he's only played in like 19 games throughout his career. He hasn't played a lot of football. What do you think a trade would like? Do you think that trade would even A, happen, or B, like, do you think that the Saints should consider it? Like, I'm kind of in the camp of, let's see how Devin Neal and Kendre Miller compete with one another, and then we can go from there. But I'm also like, I don't know if I need to move off of Kendre Miller yet.
I think if a trade were to happen, it would probably be around as early as trade deadline. Mm-hmm. Say a number 1 RB goes down, or a team's just not getting production from
just need to get a little extra juice.
Yeah, like look at the Cowboys. They don't have a solid running back still. They're one injury away from saying, let's go and find someone that has some potential. So I think if that's the case, because if the Saints aren't competing come trade deadline time, they could look to get off Kendre Miller and kind of buy in more to Devin Neal, because I think that was one of our biggest steals of the draft.
Sure. 100%. I totally agree with you. I love Devin Neal. I think it's going to be a really exciting player. I think that is a real running back competition, so we'll have to see what happens. Really quick, I want to encourage you to subscribe to Saints Now. We're going to give you an updated look here at the sub battle, the race to 50K. For what it's worth, I want to tell you something. We're losing. It's not great. I'm not happy. I'm not excited about it. Browns report, Matthew Peterson, no shade to him, but he is no longer going to be hosting the Browns report, and somehow they might beat us to 50K. Are you kidding me? Look, we were beating the Browns report Wednesday before I went out of town. I get back on Monday, we're down by like 20 or 30. Oh, that's fine, whatever. Now we're down by over 100. So I'm going to need you to kick it into high gear. I'm going to need your help, Saints fans. If you're still watching this video, we're doing something right. So hit the sub button, lock us in, free Saints content by fans, for fans. This is your one-stop shop for all things New Orleans Saints. Lock us in and subscribe to Saints Now today. Alrighty, let's... Oh my God, that's so good, dude. Oh my God. I'm sorry. That broke me. Holy cow. Dirty little studs. Holy cow. That's funny, man. That's funny. Who outside of the quarterback battle are you most watching with OTA starting? I'm watching that dirty little stunt right there. Danny Stutzman for sure. I'm keeping my eyes on. Other OTAs I'm watching, I want to see the wide receiver group. I want to see if they truly believe they need to add another receiver. Running back, that's one that I'm looking for. The Kendre Miller and Devin Neal competition will be very real. I'm excited, probably mostly to watch the defensive line, though. You got a new coach in Bo Davis, new scheme under Brandon Staley, a lot of new juice, not in terms of players, but you got guys that are back, like Chase Young. You have the potential to see something entirely different just purely based off of the schematic change. So I'm really, really excited to see the defensive line. I'm excited to see the running back battle. I'm excited to see how the wide receivers kind of pan out. Dirty little studs. That is just tremendous. All righty, really quick, before we continue answering questions and responding to hot takes, got to give a big-time shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is none other than Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. You can test your ball knowledge and put it to the test and win real cash in real time. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to $2,000 your cash. Won your game all season long on Prize Picks, and cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. The finals are right around the corner, but there's still a lot of basketball action on the hardwood that you can put money down and get money back. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup. Now, for me personally, I'm not a hoops guy, but I love me some hockey. And I'm a Dallas Stars fan through and through. Grew up in the city of Dallas, and so I'm rooting for Jake Ottinger, Matt Duchene, Miro Heiskanen, and Mikko Rantanen to go ahead and bring Lord Stanley back to Dallas, but I'm taking Jake Ottinger on the more for his saves. Matt Duchene, the more on his points, the less on Connor McDavid's. And this video will be going out over the weekend, so I'm excited to come back and revisit these projections, see how they panned out, see if I ended up making some money. You guys can fade these picks, you can tail these picks, or do whatever you want, and make sure you do it with Prize Picks. They don't just have hockey and basketball, they have football, they have college sports, they have professional sports, esports as well. So be sure to sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. Download Prize Picks. The app is amazing. You can use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get that $50 bonus when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the bonus. It's fully guaranteed. Shout out to Prize Picks. Run your game. All that information is clickable in the comments and description of this video. Jaden Barden, who are your sleeper players for the Saints this year? Hold on. I have graphics for this. Let me pull it up here. I'm not going to move them over, but I just want to see who I had listed as breakout players. So sleeper players and breakout players kind of different, but sleeper players, I agree with you on Juwan Johnson. Jaden saying sleepers, Juwan Johnson, I think people are sleeping on him too much because I think he got overpaid. I actually disagree with you, Jaden. I don't think he got overpaid at all. I think people are looking at the $30 million contract for 3 years and being like, holy shit, you gave Juwan Johnson that kind of money. Those are the people who don't know ball. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I think with Juwan Johnson, his contract is actually very, very average and honestly kind of on the lower to middle average side of things for contracts. More breakout players. Rashid Shaheed, I think, is one because he is a name that us Saints fans know and love, but I think he could really, really take over and put an entire season together this year. Chase Young has yet to have a double-digit sack season, so I think that he's a player to keep an eye on, especially with this new defense that we've talked about. Kendre Miller, if he can win that running back 2 battle, I think he's a player that could break out and be a sleeper. And I'll also say Kool-Aid McKinstry. It's going to be the first year where he's going in as a starting cornerback. Saints traded up to get him in round 2 last year. I'm excited to see what happens with year 2 of Kool-Aid McKinstry. AK Enjoyer, what are some of your biggest Saints cut candidates? Ooh, that's a good one. Cut candidates this offseason. Let me see here. So for cut candidates, I know that I said Kendre Miller could be a breakout. I also think Kendre Miller, by that same token, could be a cut candidate potentially. But I would honestly hold on to him and try to trade him. I'll say the same thing about Trevor Penning too. I think that he could get cut. I think you just keep him and let him play out the contract and maybe move off from him. Isaiah Foskey is definitely a name to watch out for, the edge rusher out of Notre Dame. Very productive for the Fighting Irish, has not had virtually any production for the Saints and being drafted in the second round a couple of years ago. I'll also add Colin Saunders to the mix because you traded for Devon Godshaw. You drafted Vernon Broughton, so maybe he's a player that's on the outside looking in. Cedric Wilson could also be a player. And hot take, I'll give you a really, really hot take here. What about Jake Haener? Maybe Hunter Deckers actually beats him out as the QB3, and Haener gets cut, gets brought back to the practice squad. We'll have to see what happens there. Alrighty, Saints fans, thank you guys so much for rocking and rolling with us. Friendly reminder to sub today for Saints content every day. I'm a diehard Saints fan, and my pledge to you, hand to God, I promise to continue to give you the best Saints content out there. I promise to give you nothing but real and honest conversations, and I promise that I will give you everything I got. Saints fans, y'all stay golden. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.